Hey everybody, Dale and Shirley Guiducci, lifestyleover50.com, coming to you with another Florida State Park campground review. This time it's Highlands Hammock State Park in Sebring, Florida, which is like right almost smack dab in the middle of Florida from a east-west standpoint. Obviously further south though from the center point of Florida, but down towards the south of Florida, but right smack dab in the middle. And we had a good time there.
I had an amazing time.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about what you loved about it.
The biggest thing for me is the hiking was phenomenal. So I'll share a little wildlife experience, but there's 9 different trails and each of them is a different environment to hike through. Some of them, I think there was 3 or 4 that actually have boardwalks. And when we say boardwalk, a couple of them have these very, very narrow plank boardwalks. There's only a rail on one side, and you're literally walking over through the swamp.
Correct.
And just the different trees, it's amazing. The trees and the different species that actually are in the swamp and grow together. It was just phenomenal as far as nature viewing, the amount of hiking. I think each trail is no more than 30 minutes. Actually, I think there's one 35-minute walk. So great short hikes per se, but incredible environments. Like one of them, and maybe it's specific on our review on the website, there's random orange trees growing. That was really cool to see.
It's called the Orange Trail, Orange Blossom Trail, or something like that.
That's not actually where we saw the
oranges. That's true.
That is where we saw something else, or at least I saw something.
You can talk about that in a second. Yeah, it's true. There was a different trail where you saw like orange trees, wild orange trees growing, right? Just in the middle of, but one of the trails, Cypress Swamp.
Yep.
The Cypress Swamp Trail had obviously tons of cypress trees growing throughout. It was amazing. And you get to walk right through this swamp, obviously on this boardwalk, but white birch trees and just, it was absolutely stunning. And you see some pictures on our website. You can see all about this on the website. We've got campground maps and pictures and all of that, but the hiking was a highlight. And the other thing though, it had some good biking too, because it has a loop, a 3-mile loop where all these different trails are on the outside and some on the inside of this loop. So everything was kind of organized pretty well. It seemed like, not that I guess they were trying to organize it, but it just, all these different trails, they had bike racks that you could, park your bikes, tie up your bikes, go on your hike, come back, grab your bike, go to the next one, or go back to your campsite or whatever. I thought it was really good.
Even the ranger station does an awesome job with giving you a proper map with little descriptions of each of the different 9 trails in that 3-mile loop, riding your bike, or you can actually drive your car to each of those trail areas. But then we also went down the road to the tent wilderness camping area. And we rode our bikes through there.
Oh, yes.
Which you got to continue on past that, down a dirt road, through an open kind of prairie area, back into the campground, into a different section. So the biking is phenomenal.
Biking's
fantastic. And the hiking
yeah.
is exceptional. It's breathtaking.
Yeah, it's really good. However, even though we just said what we said about Highlands Hammock, it does not rank amongst the best state campgrounds that we have been to so far. In fact, it ties for number 8 with Collier Seminole, which we didn't think very highly of either. And so let's talk about why, even though the biking and the hiking were so great, why we ranked Highlands Hammock so low.
Well, I'll start with the facilities. It's old. That campground's been there for a very long time. And it hasn't really been updated. Matter of fact, the first time I go into the restroom area, I go to wash my hands, I turn the water on, and then I couldn't turn it off. So I'm like, and it's running. Fortunately, actually, our next door neighbor was the camp host. So I was able to just go back to the campsite, and then I think Dale went in and he went to go pull the toilet paper and the whole front
The
cover.
whole thing came right in it fell right off the wall, and I'm like sitting there with this big toilet paper dispenser in my lap. I believe it's one of the oldest, like one of the top 5 oldest state park campgrounds in the state park system, and I believe there's 55 state park campgrounds and 175 state parks.
It's
But
clean.
It's clean.
It's very clean.
They take care of it, but it's super, super old. So the facilities are old, but the campsites themselves are old. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that it's had 70 some odd, 80 some odd years of rain and runoff and whatnot. So they're very uneven.
Yep.
They're very sloped. There's
a lot of roots,
stumps and roots that are sticking up through it. So when you try to put down your tent, or if you're putting down your carpet, or you're trying to level out your trailer, it's a challenge, right? It's a challenge. And on top of that, for whatever reason, they have these fire rings. They all have fire rings, which is a good thing. But they're almost like right in the middle of the campsite.
They're in weird spots. So it wasn't engineered very well for these sites. And they're bam, bam, bam on top of each other. Now, on our website, you can go through, we walked the whole thing, and we wrote down a list of campsite numbers that give you the best option in that campground. So your neighbors are on top of each other. It's very uneven. And by the way, your electric and water could be in a very bizarre, in a very bizarre location.
Right.
So, you could need it over here next to your camper, but it's way over there, and you
got to run extension cords.
Yeah, extensions.
If you don't have
hoses.
an extension cord, you're out of luck on electricity on some of these campsites, or you're just going to have to pull your vehicle in the opposite way to get it to the left of your vehicle.
It's in funky spots.
It's very fun. My perception of this is it was not built, this campground was not designed and built in a time where people had a lot of RVs.
Right.
This was a lot of tent camping back in the day, I'm sure. They brought in the electricity probably early on, but not recognizing certain aspects of it. I mean, now campgrounds have all the electrical and water are off to the left, so it's pretty simple and whatnot. But this one was hard. This one was tough.
It was hard. The hiking, exceptional.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Biking, exceptional. Weirdness with the sites and small and facilities and stuff like that. So if I were to go back, I would absolutely stick to our list of which sites we recommend, because
it's on the website, so you can see it. The other thing for people that are going, now we came in from the west. We live in Largo on the Gulf Coast, so we came in from the west. And if you're coming in from the west, we followed Google Maps, and it was a mistake because it brought us in the back end, which is just a bumpy dirt road. And if you've got a trailer or an RV, all your stuff's going to be bumping, for about 1.5 miles or so through this dirt road. So what you want to do is don't come in, and I've got the notes here, do not come in on County Road 634, which is an east-west thoroughfare. Do not do that. Come in on Route 66, take Route 66 from the Gulf Coast to County Road 635, and that will bring you into the front entrance of the campground. It's all paved and so forth. So that's one thing that you'll appreciate. You'll thank us for that. Trust me, as you go, right?
Big time.
And then the other thing is, but the good news is that we had great cell phone service.
Yeah, I was totally shocked.
Right.
Because we were in the middle of the state in this massive park, nature. And I'm like, holy cow, like we had the most bars ever while we were camping.
Yeah,
so cell
no
phone
problem
service
whatsoever.
was exceptional.
The last thing I just want to share for people is that if you like boating, if you like kayaking, paddling, canoeing, whatever, you can't do any of that in the park. There is no facility for that, no lake or whatever. But 6.5 miles down the road, you can go to Lake Jackson, which is a massive lake. And by the way, we took a drive, not all the way around the lake, but beautiful homes. And it borders the actual downtown of Sebring, which is the main city there. But there's kayak, canoe, and boat launch facilities there, and just a beautiful lake. So you can do that, but not inside the park.
Right.
Is there anything else you want to add to our review of Highlands Hammock State Park.
I think that was it. Hiking exceptional. So I would go back for that, but in the sites that we recommend.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully that's helpful. Enjoy yourself. It's a beautiful drive. There's some really good things about it for sure, and some negative things about it. And if you don't mind those negatives, you're going to have a great time.
Absolutely.
All right. Take good care, everybody.